We'll send it back over to you.
Thanks, Reed. Up next, today's Morey story. Morey Alter has a preview.
Morey Alter here with Rich and Steve. They've experienced something I haven't. I don't play racquetball, but it's their other experience you'll want to know more about. The story coming up.
It's not the Olympics, but more than 1,000 athletes have descended upon Louisville, Kentucky this weekend to go for gold.
What makes these games different is that the contestants celebrate before they compete. You'll understand why once you've watched this week's Sunday morning Morey story.
We're here in Brooklyn Heights at the Eastern Athletic Club because we've got a chance to catch up with members of Liberty. That's 56-year-old Steve Feldheim up front, Rich DeRocher behind him. Can't fool you, they are not part of the WNBA Liberty. But the team is called Liberty, New York, New Jersey Liberty, and we will take the liberty of introducing some of their mates. Working out in her Manhattan apartment, 41-year-old Andrea Eisenman. Checking his ride in Prospect Park, 56-year-old John Rice. At one time, his prospects weren't so hot.
I was just basically told I had 3 months to live.
Advanced stage liver cancer. The prospect of time cut short is part of what all of our weekend warriors had in common.
I was in the hospital, hardly able to raise my head out of bed.
Heart failure.
I found out I only had a single kidney.
And that was failing.
I was supposed to live to about 6.
Andrea kept beating the dire predictions about her cystic fibrosis. But at 35, there was only one way to beat the odds again.
It was either get the transplant or die.
And that, a transplant, is also what our competitors have in common. Steve is 6 years out on a donated heart. Rich's brother gave him a kidney. John received a liver. Andrea was given a double lung transplant. And this week, they are all in Louisville, Kentucky, with more than 1,000 other competitors at the National Kidney Foundation's 2006 U.S. Transplant Games. Nice. All sorts of events. All sizes of transplant competitors. Steve won a bowling gold medal at the '05 World Transplant Games. But to a man and a woman, the medal on the mantle is not what this is about.
I'm happy just to see the pictures of my family on the mantle.
That and drawing attention to the big picture.
There's approximately 90,000 people every year waiting for transplants.
Because once you've been part of that number, you don't forget about the rest. John brought notes to our interview.
There were 18 people a day that die waiting for an organ that's not available. And that's why we do this.
I've met the son and the daughter of my donor.
And Andrea will be going to the son's wedding. About that bowling gold medal Steve won at the World Games?
I sent it to the family a couple of months ago, dedicated to Jamie Lee.
The 16-year-old girl whose heart beats in Steve's body. We won't sugarcoat here. Our transplant competitors all take lots of anti-rejection related drugs, and some days are better than others. But having said that, Andrea says,
I've never felt this good in my life.
In her life, she says. In her ongoing life, I thought. Morey Alter, CBS 2 News.
Good for them. And among those handing out the medals at this year's Transplant Games will be liver recipients Larry Hagman of Dallas fame and Olympic snowboard bronze medalist and liver recipient Chris Klug. For much more information about organ donations and transplantations, go to our website at WCBSTV.com and click on links and numbers.